Go ahead.
um, is Bobby Clarke, we call it esteemed elder, a social activist for all of my entire life. Knowing him, he's probably a social activist from well before my birth.
Yeah.
And in that vein, he's a stalwart in Barbados' history, and some person whose memories we should endeavor to capture. Um, he's an attorney at law, retired attorney at law.
Not retired.
Not retired, still acting, still acting.
I'm only 87.
You only 87?
Yeah.
And so I'm going to have a discussion with him, or he's going to have a discussion with me rather, about the historical and contemporary factors that the public perceives limits beach access. So,
First of all, let me historically, yeah.
mhm.
There isn't a public understanding or concept of the beach policy. The beach policy starts from the maybe 1930s when Barbadian blacks for the first time started to understand the importance of education. Prior to that, there was no understanding of education. There was a belief that, from the British government standpoint, that the colonies were to be utilized for the benefit of the colonial power,
Right.
and therefore there was whatever is done in the colony it must only be for the benefit of the colonial power. So the education wasn't an education as such.
Mm.
It was putting some youths into schools to teach the blacks their position as low-skilled workers or government workers.
Right.
So that the coming out of the 1910 to 1930,
Mm-hmm.
you were training people. I remember Kwame School in North because it started in the late 20s, 30s. You bring them out in the education time to fit into government positions,
Right.
into the police station, into the fire station, into the defense force, into the post office, into low thinking jobs.
Right.
You're not
Basically
supposed
to
to.
administer
This
the-
brain is not even administer. Just carry out policy.
Mm.
There's no administration there. There's a policy put in by the colonial power that you carry out.
Right.
So there was this idea of you just go to school and you go at the end of school you go and work in government.
Mm.
Although I don't know if you could call it work. You go in government carry colonial policy. It is when the Second World War starts, that the creation that somehow we're gonna improve.
Mm.
But we're gonna fight, we're gonna fight this war against Germany for the white man. We're not fighting anything at all towards our development.
Mm.
We're just fighting for the white man. And therefore people flock to join Air Force, Canadian Army was named a lot of Caribbean, a lot of West Indian people. The British forces were West Indian people. We fought in North Africa and Egypt a lot, the Caribbean people. So it wasn't there was nothing at all from the British position was to deal with our development.
Mm. Right.
But then, as the war started, that little money started to trickle through. And the way you get vacation for the schools, and therefore the beach is the area for the vacation.
Mm.
Yeah. But the beach was the area for the vacation was Browns Beach.
Mm.
I don't know what getting here Browns Beach. It must be somewhere that
Something. Yeah.
Brandon. There was no part of Christchurch that was part of the beach.
Oh.
No bars, no blacks, there was nothing. Then there was the Black Rock area of Brighton Beach, then Paradise Beach, going straight down to Portage.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, then, as the plantation was on that area going down, the beaches became white. So,
Yeah.
you know, there they became white. So that the blacks stayed at Brandon's, Browns
Mhm.
Beach, and the whites,
Party.
Paradise. So much so that by I was at school, so I used to go down, all of us, everybody from Black Rock, would be down by Brighton Beach
Mm.
or Paradise Beach. The reason the Paradise Beach is that the water at Paradise Beach was not as salty as,
Mm. Okay.
and it was lovely, clear, beautiful water. And they had, there's an underground river running from campus, up by top of campus,
Uh-huh.
right underneath, that goes down to Paradise Beach. So the water bubbles in the sand coming up.
Okay.
And you can take the sand up and fresh water and drink
And then fresh water.
the fresh water.
Okay.
And became known as Freshwater Beach.
Ah.
And then they had a white grouping that kind of took over that area.
Mm-hmm.
They would have bought the piece of land that is now Paradise Beach, next to Bats Rock. And they had a raft in the sea. They had a place they called Round Table. It was a rock that came up just above the sea. Black people would swim out there,
Mm.
get on top of the rock and then jump off it.
Right.
And that area, that was the Bats Rock area,
Mm-hmm.
and next year it was the Paradise Beach area. Paradise Beach, when they built the hotel, it was all white hotel.
Mm.
And it was run by Belgian whites. And Belgian whites, I remember, we used to be down there every same vacation, everybody, all black people. And we were there, and the owner at the hotel came out, the raft was there, we used to go on the raft and jump off.
Right.
The raft was the white people raft.
Mm.
And he came out there with a long range gun and was shooting at us.
Serious stuff.
Shooting at us. So we didn't have it. There was no kind of complaint of the white government,
Yeah.
the white controls. So there's no complaint pardon on that. It's only after some people came back from the war that we started to get a different concept. Because the barbarians were then talking, I guess them was white people, the people that went to war. We fight for ourselves, we fight against the white people. But we don't fight against the white people, we fight on behalf of the white people again. So the Paradise Beach was the beach that everybody went to. Connecting, as I said, with Brandon Beach on
Right.
one side.
Coming down to the Bronx.
Yeah, right down the Bronx Beach. But the Bronx Beach was nearly all black all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Although Bay Street was a white dominated area.
Right.
From Fontebelle right down to up to the Garrison was a white dominated area. So you used to kind of sneak in.
Right.
Yeah, you know, you don't have, like, you didn't feel you had a right. You know,
Right, but you were good in.
yeah, you would go, and they would be shifting all the time, especially when you get to Paradise because of that special beach in the water in Paradise.
Mm.
So that, and that went on all through the war years, down back into up to about 1950. And then, and this is remarkable part, Bar became closely connected with the ownership of Paradise Beach. And rented a house next to Paradise Beach. We lived. So, one of Bar's good friends, like Talma and Branca, and I go around Dipper. And had the use of Paradise. And maybe sometimes we even have the use of Paradise bathrooms. But this is always the time.
Right.
So that I think the war broke that down and black people started to just walk from either Backstop Beach onto Paradise or walk from Brandon Beach and Brighton Beach onto Paradise. But that was a better water to break.
Right.
You know? And the white gun place stopped. That was a pity because the black people started to get to Parliament and started to, although they didn't have any power, the view was that be in power.
Right, right.
We used to be. And that position, from that position, the whites work, which they have done more than once, but this is the first time I can recall it. The whites then start to move from the utilizing Brandon, Brighton Beach, Paradise Beach, Botswalk Beach, and they ended up at Bath and St. John. Bathsheba. If you go to Bathsheba now, all that land still owned by white people. The early 50s when Bar was still in power too. Then you go find the name of this person. Fella came from, I think from Latin America. And he came with big ideas to develop tourism in Barbados. And he had discussions with Bar. And out of those discussions, the road to where San Lane Hotel is now. Remember San Lane at the time was a sugar plantation. So the man built all the houses, those little houses you see on the non-beach side of Sandy Lane, going right down to Porter's. Was agreed between Dipper and this contractor to build those houses for tourism. Right? Wasn't to develop Barbados, it was just for tourism.
Alone.
Yeah. All the houses are still there. The small houses that they built, about 2 or 3 bedroom houses, mostly on the non-beach side. Because at the time, the road ran along the beach from Black Rock, from St. Paradise, along the beach right north.
Right down this way.
So, yes.
True full town, right down this way.
And they changed that road. They changed the road. They moved the road from the beach inland, so that the beach land became more important. All owned by white people. All owned by white people. They all houses down there, you won't believe. So it's only since they started to talk tourism, and they were talking in the early days from Browns Beach side, that they started to put some issues to stop blacks using Browns Beach. They put up for 20 years before they even started thinking about building the hotels on Browns Beach. So they get the people, and that by black governments. Right. There was nothing in law about it. It's just interpretation that if white tourism coming here and they have to use that area for building hotels, black people must understand that.
Right, you got to say it's wrong.
Right. But it's only once or twice in the whole town area, and that would have started about 30 years back, where when after they built Sandy Lane, people wanted to go, could walk along the road cross the road and get down to the beach by next to Sandy Lane. So some part of that was Sandy Lane land. Right. And this Sandy was saying, you can't use my land. Eventually, Barra created a law that gave access from the road right down to Porters. They got little small six foot tracks.
Yeah.
But you can't drive, you can't park, you can't do that.
The only thing you could do is walk.
So you can't go to the beach for a picnic with the family.
No.
All that's done.
Yeah.
So we can talk that you have the right, you have access to the land. You have access to the real where it was.
Right.
You can drive your car, park your car, carry your family, have a picnic, and that game, there's no way.
That you can,
like
how they got down Browns Beach, where they got area you can park, bathrooms,
yes.
Yes. There's nothing like that there.
Yeah. So it's part of black policy or part of bad political thinking by the governments and BLP and DLP that never understood that when they're talking about them, they only talk because the people Barbarian people are bold enough to say, you can't do that to me. You got to make that part there. You got to make that go for that beach. You can't tell me that. Yeah? And so the government, we've always had a policy that the beaches are open to the public. Yeah. Have you ever noticed it really, when they started building hotels along the Hastings coast? The first one they had was Astor Hotel. But Astor Hotel was owned by a Dominican called Astor Fan. So he built the Astor Hotel up there. And because that wasn't the idea for hotels. Hotels was still the Black Rock area going towards the north. And then they started open hotels along the Hastings area. The Royal Hotel, owned by the Goddards. Next to the Royal, owned by A. Taylor. That's Charlie Taylor. Charlie Taylor was a Barbadian cricketer. His father owned that. So he had that but all that was because the road was right, going from Garrison, right, the road was there. So already you can't get to the beach. You can't get to the beach because the road there. You had to find some of the tracks. And so nobody used to go to bed there because of that. But even when they had little tracks over there, they started, especially where Hotel Royal was. Hotel Royal was next to Hastings Rocks. It's that old hotel there that they talk about breaking down for years. For years. And that was one of the richest hotels.
Okay.
I used to work at Cable and Wireless thing in St. Lawrence Gap. And if you work till midnight, you try to get a lift to town, you might stop by Hotel Royal to have a beer. And we stopped there one night about 11 o'clock. We went in the Hotel Royal. The bartender ordered a beer. Myself and about 2 others. And there was a white man just standing up by the bar. And the black bartender, you could see the frightened. And you look at the white man. Then he said, well, we don't have any beer. And so, well, a rum and coke then. Round
to rum.
A whiskey. You don't have
no whiskey, nigga.
Then they had a small swimming pool right there by the bar. At the off McDonald's swimming pool. I would have been about 16. So we ran left here to get your drinks. And I think that gave the white man a feeling that somehow his power wasn't as powerful as he thought it was. If somebody could do that, at the Hayes Hotel. And that changed the party policy for they start to allow black people to come and have a drink. If you're coming along with a good white friend, then it's still the interconnection.
Yeah.
And I think from all that, black people became acceptance. They believed that they didn't have any rights to go these places, to even talk about it. They didn't have any. It's only every now and then they have something on the beach, especially in the St. James St. Peter's area, that they will come up. But it's not part of the thing that we got that right. It was only again because of Gabby's song, Beach is Mine. I remember, and that caused a big disturbance between Jack Deere.
Right. He was he was no.
Jack Deere was the son-in-law for the
chairman of the Barbados Tourism.
He was the white boy in charge of all whiteism. and he come from St. Lucia.
Okay.
But he would be pushing that black people don't have where to go there. Don't have where. I think Gabby's song made a big difference. People started saying, Gabby said, so we have to get from there.
Gabby's monster.
Yeah, you're going there. But there's never been, under the BLP and DLP, there's never a political position about the rights to the beach.
Right.
They never fought that. They never told people, even when the first ideas, pelt rocks out there, they never told anybody, the white people, they can't do that. The whole, but pass by Bounce Beach instead, no?
Mm.
Or go some other beach instead, no? Go down Batswell was not a good beach because it was rough. The water was rough at Batswell.
Yeah.
Well, at Paradise it was nice, calm, cool, non-salt water.
Yep.
That's where you want to be.
And not only that, Boxer is a better ground for in the hockey.
Yes, all the levels. from Lazaretta.
The high water mark.
Pardon, sir? The high water mark? Well, you only line right up to the high water mark.
Yeah.
So if you only line right up to the high water mark, you're really in.
Yeah.
The only thing after the high water mark is sea, really.
That's right. Yeah. And that don't really affect the positions in favor of black people.
No.
But none of the black governments from Grant Leader ever really talk about the rights of black people on the beach. You know, there was never an intention by any government, you know, let's put DLT, think of, to enforce, to ensure that all Barbadian people had the natural right. We should be fighting to state that.
Right.
That should be an acknowledgement you had the natural right. You know, you shouldn't be even discussing that. Why should we be discussing? Who gave the Aquatic Club the right to build a jetty out in the Rossville Sea so that I can't go on that?
Right. And
To
then tell me you can't go on it.
But I can't go, I got the water there, so I can't get in that water because your jetty.
But the water's supposed to be mine.
Yes. How is that? Help the people of Barbados, the working people, the people of Barbados. If we borrow off 2 acres of sea land and up the price to tourism industry, you got to pay an extra $2,000 a month for the use of the room. How's that help the black people?
Right.
And how's your development of that area help the black people?
Right.
It takes away from them the right to just get a job in the sea.
Right. We know that. But was it trade off?
Yeah.
Man.
That's the issue that we got to go.
Thank you very much.
Always a pleasure.
All right.
Always a pleasure.
And I see. We think I get a copy
Yeah.
so you can
Yeah.
keep. And thank you for listening to me.
Yeah.
All right, we can close.